Hi everyone, Mitch from PickDogs.com. That was weird. We're going live a different way than we have in the past, and it's just, I didn't expect it to just pop on like that, but it did. Anyways, Mitch, Chris, and Jay. It's Thursday, May the 8th, 2024. Here with the live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Chris, what's happening? How's Vegas treating you?
Not pretty good. Had some solid food yesterday. Food that I sorely missed when I'm back home. The Chinese food out here is immaculate, but new day, new opportunities to make some money. The Mariners failed me yesterday, but that's okay. We'll make
Would
it
have
back.
watched the live show. I gave out the Twins. Anyways, Jay.
Yeah.
What's happening?
So let's talk about the Pacers, man, and the calls. Game one, I thought that I don't know if the refs decided the game, but I think they gave in the final seconds there, they took away the Pacers' opportunity to win the game. Game two, I don't know. It's like the Pacers they're crying a river. That never helps. But maybe it does. I don't know. It is crazy, and I gotta say that that Brunson is ball hog, man. He is like ball hog standards here.
So here's my takeaways. I talked about this a bit on the jam session. Brunson is a dog. That's what he is. He's just a certified dog. It's just, god damn, he's hooping.
Yeah, but guys like that, ball hogs, they never win, man. Never, ever. There's never been a ball hog that's won anything.
Yeah, of course. We know the Knicks aren't going anywhere. They're going to get 4-1 next round if they get there. You know what I mean? So that's not the $1 million question. You know what I mean? But in terms of the Pacers, I feel like they have a legitimate argument, man. They got screwed with the terrible illegal screen call in game one. Yesterday, the thing is, and I kind of felt this way in my Mavs series, I feel like they're giving the home team an advantage that isn't deservedly there. They're not allowing teams to play physical defensive basketball, and they're not calling it both ways. On one end of the floor, you know what I mean? You breathe on a guy, it's a foul. They tackle my guy, and it's ball moving down the floor. It kind of got that feeling from Indiana. Indiana said they have 78 calls ready to send to the league. I don't know quite about 78. But do I feel like there's a slight officiating edge towards New York? Most definitely. Is it as bad as the Indiana Pacers are trying to portray it to be? Not really. They had a 10-point lead at half, and it withered away quickly.
What's going to get bigger TV ratings? Knicks, Celtics, or Pacers, Celtics? And I think this is their complaint. And I think it's legitimate. And I don't know if it's 78 calls worth of non-calls. Right. When you say 78 calls, it's also non-calls. But the thing is that there definitely is a disparity there. I didn't love the Pacers yesterday. I thought they looked very public doggy. But at the same time, they deserved better. And it's like, if the Knicks are going to beat them, then they're going to beat them. But you got to call it both ways, man. And it's like they're not calling it both ways. They don't call it both ways. And I think that's the problem. It's like, if you're going to not call it both ways or you're going to call it both ways, that's all one thing. But if you're going to call it one way for one team and one way for the other, then you're going to have this problem. You're going to have this problem. And that's where we sit right now with it.
Yeah, but I think you still, if you're the Pacers, you still got to make the opportunities that you are given. I mean, like Miles Turner with that turnaround or fadeaway three with like 2 minutes to go when you're down 5.
And also the missed free throws, the free throws when it was tight. When it was really tight and they really needed those free throws, he missed them both, man.
Yeah,
he missed them
That's
both.
That's the third time in the series he's gone to the line and missed both. So, yeah, man. Yeah. See how I compare ass.
And I give the Knicks at least a little bit of credit for being clutch in clutch time. Was that 6 out of 7 games they played so far in the playoffs.
That's why I said the first thing I said here on the morning show and on the jam session was Brunson and them boys. Fourth quarter, they balling, they hooping. You got you know what I mean. There is a legitimate argument to they're just clutch. You're right, Chris.
Because six of their 7 games, I think, qualify as clutch games. Where it's 5 points within 5 points or less going into the last 5 minutes. So it's this team just knows how to win close games, play in close games.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just tough to say, man. It's to me, when games aren't fairly officiated, it's tough to watch. I have I struggle with it in college football lately. I struggle with it in the NFL all the time, and I think you see it even in beatdown games where it's just continuously, and it's do teams that are behind get frustrated and maybe do some things? Yeah. And commit some fouls and in the NFL penalties and all that stuff. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that the other team is allowed to get away with murder. And that's the way it seems to go, in a lot of these games. It's going to be interesting this year, right? The thing to watch in college football this year is Alabama going to get the calls that they've been getting? Are they going to get the calls without Nick Saban there that they've been getting? And I'm not 100% sure they are, So, I don't know, man. It is going to be interesting.
I think the $1 million question in tonight's NBA game too. The second one is the same thing. The same thing I said, bro.
I can't see.
I think tonight's game rides on the whistle, man. I'll talk about it a little more later, but it rides on the referee whistle. And I hate to be the guy that says that, fam, but if you're honestly sitting here watching the games, you cannot tell me that you can't see it being dictated. For the instance in my Mavs game 1, bro, the Thunder averaged 22 free throws in the regular season. They averaged 22 free throws a game. They shot 24 in the first half. Come on, bro. Come on.
The Pacers are 7.5-point favorites because Anunoby is also out. That's why they're favored by 7.5, not because of the 78 missed calls or whatever. Right? He left. He never came back in.
Game 3 is a must win. That's why they're favored by 7.5.
Also, they're missing. They're missing one of their best players. I don't know, man. I always say I hate it when it's decided by the refs. And to me, that's why I hate pro sports, right? It seems that more often than not. And it is that the worst calls and the worst non-calls are not reviewable, and that's always the problem. So someone just gave us a thumbs down. We appreciate it. Doing something right. I always say, if some jackasses give me the thumbs down and we're saying something that doesn't resonate with them, then I'm doing something right. It's we don't want you, right?
Yep. Oh, well, I won't cry river today. It happened. Shout out to Nick. Shout out Brunson. Brunson, you're a dog. Love you.
I don't like him. I think he's a ball hog. And I think he's getting the benefit of the doubt on a lot of these calls. A lot of them. I don't like ball hogs, man. Not a fan. I think if you're a ball hog type, they will figure it out. It's the NBA. They will figure it out. Anyways, baseball. White Sox doing it again to Jays Rays, taking them down Chinatown.
Raise their ass.
Beat them up. Shoot them up, spit them out. Double-digit wins now for the White Sox. Oh, no, 9 wins. So close. Marlins have 10 wins. Rockies officially the worst team in baseball. It's official. It's a light card today, man. I really don't like today's card. I think today's the day where, for me, man, I'm sitting on my hands most of the day, so I'm fine with it. Yesterday was the first day in my premium picks that I've given out 2 favorites in baseball the entire season.
Did you hit them?
Yeah, I hit them both. They were mild favorites. I gave out 2 favorites. That was the only 2 picks I gave. I couldn't even find anything else. I love Dylan Cease against the Cubs. I said it on the show. My favorite announcer comment also happened during that game of the season. So 7th inning, 104th pitch. Cease rears back his 104th pitch, throws a 99-mile-an-hour fastball down the middle of the plate. He's got a one-hitter going, and the announcer, one-hit shutout, and the announcer goes, I don't know if it was the Padres broadcast or it might have even been the Cubs broadcast. They said, he's just Nintendo good today. It was a good one.
What was it? It was when my favorite. It was like a couple days ago. It was Yamamoto.
I was just going to say that too. The no-hit alert.
No hitter alert. And then Jazz Chisholm walks up, first pitch home run.
First pitch bomb. Yeah, that's funny, bro. First pitch bomb is crazy.
Luka named the MVP. I don't know. I heard some grumblings about that too. I thought
it was they gave it to Jokic.
Oh yeah, Jokic. That's right. But I heard rumblings about that too, and I don't know, man.
I mean, I felt like Luka and Shea both had fair, deserving arguments. I mean, Luka Doncic just averaged. I just want people to know. I got to fight for my guy a bit. The highest points per game, assists per game, and rebounds per game of any player in NBA history. That just happened this season. He did that.
But I heard the R word used with Jokic getting the MVP. And I don't see it, man.
No, I mean, I've been consistent with saying this. Y'all have heard me say the 2 best guys in the league are white guys. I've said that, and I've said
that's to you. For me, I got LeBron and Curry.
I've said that, so I'm not necessarily mad with Jokic winning the MVP. I've been consistent with saying he is the best player in the NBA. So I'm not mad.
They're like, he's about to get swept out of the playoffs and all this stuff. But that doesn't count. It's only the regular season that counts in the MVP voting.
Yeah. No, it's not. I don't think so. I mean, he is the best player in the league, bro. He is. And it's not a postseason award. It's a regular season award. And when you look at all the advanced numbers and everything like that, he does blow it out of the water. Now, should they use those numbers? Should the eye test be used a little more? Yes, I think so. You know what I mean? For Shea, bro, he took a team that was in the play-in to the 1 seed. You know what I mean? He had an argument. For Luka, what else can Luka do, bro? Like I said,
I don't think were the Thunder playing last year, or were they in?
They were in the play-in.
They're playing. I thought they were in. All right.
So, there were arguments to be made, man. But
so this year they had 57 wins, and last year they had 40 wins. So 17 more wins. That is big. That is really big. And the Nuggets had 53 wins last year. And this year they had 57 wins. So they were actually better this year than they were last year. The Nuggets. Banchero better than Ant-Man. Whatever. Okay. Yep. All right. You've been drinking too much with Wayne. I think too much of the Wayne aid. That's the Wayne Kool-Aid for short. It's like the J Luca aid. Oh man! So you guys know I never watch hockey, and I happened to flip by ESPN right when this guy punches the other guy right in the face. So of course I stayed on. He hits him square. The helmet goes flying across. It was the Panthers game. He hit him, and the helmet just goes flying off. Now the refs tackle him, and then the guy jumps on the pile through the refs and is allowed to throw a couple sucker shots to the ribs through there. I like it, but I think you got to let the other guy fight back. Then they say it's Keith Kachuk in the crowd. He looks nothing like he used to look like when he was a player. I mean, people say like I got old and all this stuff. Here's a guy that hasn't aged all that well.
Was it like late in the game?
I don't know. I was just flipping the channel. I had the baseball on the one screen. I had the hoops in the middle on top, and I just happened to flip on the big screen. We were watching Survivor. It was over.
Okay.
So it'd be around. It'd be at 9:30 Eastern time.
Yeah, so it's probably close to the end. So it was probably the Pasternak and Kachuk fight.
Yeah, they showed Keith Kachuk in the in the crowd.
It was because Pasternak for Boston doesn't fight all that much.
Well, he didn't fight in this one much either. He got punched right in the face. I mean, he got clocked. I love a good hockey fight.
Who doesn't?
Well, they took it out of the game. It's just not the same. And then I saw on ESPN this morning on the website. I don't watch ESPN like Sports Center or anything like that, but I saw that that it was the Canucks over the Oilers. So is it just another sad story for the Oilers? Just a lot of regular season fluff, and then because remember when Joe Madden used to do the show with us, she used to just be the biggest Connor McDavid hater in the history of the world. I mean, she was just like such a crybaby and all this stuff. But last year in the playoffs, it was Draisaitl, right, who had the big game after game. Like, I don't watch it. I'm not going to watch this garbage. But, I remember hearing about it on the show. And Draisaitl had all these goals, right? So is he still on the team?
Yeah.
Is he still as effective as he was? Or?
Yeah, he's right up there with McDavid.
So what happened last night then when the Canucks went into Edmonton? They busted them up because the betting tools said the betting tools had the Canucks. I gave it out.
Well, the Canucks were at home. But
okay.
Go ahead.
Edmonton.
But they were dogs.
Was up.
They were dogs.
Dogs at home. Like, I couldn't believe it, bro. Like, on what planet?
Edmonton was up 4-1 in the second period.
In what world?
Yeah, Edmonton was up 4-1 in the second period, and then Vancouver just stormed back.
Did they just say "not today, bitch"? Was that kind of the?
I think I might have saw that on.
What
the
do you got going on that TV in the background? That's a little.
I don't know. I think I left Sports Center on this morning.
I don't know if we're committing a violation here or not.
I can turn it off.
Yeah, you got to. I'm not sure we're allowed to show it.
All right, if you want to take me off for a sec, I'll go change it.
I think you have to do it. I don't know how to do it. Don't want to see something here that we don't want to see. Got Double J.
Where's the jam session?
Definitely don't want to see Ruffalo's ass crack. Not the way we want to start the day. And there he is. Oh, man.
Shout out to them Canucks, though, man. I'm not saying that Edmonton don't have a shot in the series, even though that's kind of what I'm saying. But, like, Canucks, dog at home, like, make it make sense.
And beat them up, right? To come all the way back like that.
Yeah. But who am I to talk? I mean, my team just did the same shit the day before, so. So,
So did you bet those games at the book yesterday? Did you go down there, parlay them up? A little parlay?
I did not. I didn't bet on those ones because I didn't love the hockey yesterday.
So where'd you go to eat yesterday? Like, where was on the agenda? Vegas.
I went to that same place for lunch at the Encore.
Wuzu, it's called Wuzu.
Yeah, Wuzuzu, yeah.
Yes, love it.
And then Morimoto's for dinner.
Whoa, look at you. Big spender over here, man. Morimoto's, man. He never takes us there, Jay. It's like, what'd you get at Morimoto's, man? Me and Mike ordered every appetizer on the menu at Morimoto's. And we got 2 or 3 of some of them.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I can be slightly picky with stuff, so I try to find stuff that's not gonna hit me too hard. The tuna tacos were pretty good.
Did they have the oysters? Did they have oysters?
I didn't get the oysters.
So they sell the oysters in orders of 3. We usually get 3 dozen or so.
Yeah, I got the I got the rock shrimp, I think.
Rock shrimp. Oh, I've
Yeah,
had
rock
that.
shrimp.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice dish.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do a nice job over there, Marmotas. Did you go with the gang? The whole gang went?
No, they didn't want to go. I went by myself.
There you go. So what was the tab? Marmotas. Like, what did this look like? 2?
No.
250?
165. 165.
165 table for 1. Any drinks?
Nope.
No drinks. 165 table
Nope.
for 1. Nice job, man. That's CJ. That's why he's
impressive.
the franchise player, man. You know, that's professional right there.
That is.
165 table for 1. Wow. What kind of
That's
tip you leave
those
on
are
that?
goals I'm striving to achieve.
Yeah, I'm there. Those are my type of numbers. So was it $50 tip on that? No, 50.
Yeah,
Just
4.
round it
I
up.
rounded up to 2.
Rounded up to 2. So $35.
Yeah.
Not bad. That's a little over 20%. Not bad. Okay. Happens. All right. Well, let's do it. Let's talk about these games on the card today. Like I said, I'm going to be frank with you. I'm Mitch, but I'm going to be frank. But
I don't know why that was so good. I didn't even see that.
Nah, you got me with that one. You got me. For the rest of the show,
and stop calling me Frank.
I'm Mitch. Don't call me Frank Wilson.
Oh man, so we're working on we're working on merch before we get started. Did you guys see the Ron Romanelli shirts?
Yeah.
Like we asked Chat GPT for sayings, and that was one of them. We asked Chat GPT to come up with the Ron shirts.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, we're doing new Pick Dogs merch, but we're just gonna do the basics, but then we're also gonna do like Stupid Dummy Crazy and all that kind of stuff as well. But one of them is for Ron, so we got this one.
You know who he looks like
Who?
in that picture?
Sandoval from
No.
Vanderpump?
No. Ben Stiller from Dodgeball.
Oh yeah, a little bit. Don't mean to be frank with you, but oh man, that bit stinks, and I feel it's gonna stick for a while. Got the Reds and the Diamondbacks, and we've got the Twins and the Mariners. Chris, what do you think?
Oh, I got kicked in the nuts yesterday. What's one more time? I'm going to go to the Mariners here. I like Logan Gilbert, especially when he pitches on the road. It's where he's played his better baseball. I think he was 9-2 last year with an ERA around 3.5. This year he's been just as good, if not better. Pablo Lopez is in the same boat, but that doesn't help him here because he's pitching at home. Historically, as a member of the Twins, he's struggled more on the road. His last road start, he got the win, but 4 hits, 4 runs, a pair of home runs allowed against the Angels. I think the Mariners get the split here. I'm going to go with the Seattle Mariners in this one.
Jake?
I'm joining my guy, Good Ruffalo, man. I'm still on the fade, the Twins train, but I'm sorry. It's hard to get off of it. Jorge Kirby did let me down yesterday, but Logan Gilbert been just as good. 1.69 ERA. I think they get back on snide. I mean, they've won 4 of his 5 starts this season. The only one they lost was his bad outing, and when you really look at it, it really wasn't a bad start. 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned, 1 bomb. Shit, most people would love to have that start. So I trust Logan Gilbert. I don't trust the Twins. Pablo Lopez, hey, we know what's up with him. He has been okay recently. The Angels got to him though. The Sox kind of got to him. I think the Mariners can get to him here. Like Chris said, getting plus money with Seattle with Logan Gilbert pitching as good as he is. Sign me up. And I cashed on the Diamondbacks yesterday with my guy Monty Montgomery. I'll take the Diamondbacks again at the plus money, fading Hunter Green. Sassoni is not somebody I love to back. And this is not a premium or anything of that nature. So, his last outing wasn't great, getting lit up by the Padres. But 50-50 series, the Reds, they've been in this funk. And I just think there's value fading them right now. How many games have they lost in a row? Like, 9? I see a sweep here for the Diamondbacks. Sign me up. What you think of these two, Mitch?
The Diamondbacks were my top play yesterday.
Monty.
No, were they my top play? Oh yeah, they were. The Diamondbacks were my top play yesterday.
That was one of the ones you laid odds with. That was one of your first ones.
Yeah,
that means you really liked them yesterday.
125.
You really liked them.
Yep, I really liked them. I was gonna lay the run line, and I didn't do it, and I'm glad I didn't because the Reds had those chances to actually win the game at the end. So I was glad I didn't lay the run line. I'm going to go with the Diamondbacks again. This is more of a fade of the Reds, who are just in an absolute tailspin, and they're heading to San Francisco. They got a long flight ahead of them, and, of course, playing against one of the top teams in all of baseball, the Giants, when they get there. So
whatever.
I'm gonna roll with them. And then, here's the thing about this Mariners-Twin series, which is really a very even series. The Mariners, in case you didn't know it, they absolutely murder left-handed pitching. Pablo Lopez is a lefty. So I think, we know Gilbert is also, the thing is that both bullpens have been used in this series, but Gilbert's a guy that generally goes pretty deep into games. Comes into this one with a .86 ERA over his last 3. He's gone 21 innings over that stretch, so 7 innings each time out. Lopez has only lasted 5 innings. He's got a 4.80 and a 1.13 whip over his last 3. And when you look at Seattle versus lefties, Minnesota markedly worse versus righties. 284 versus left-handed pitching for the Twins, and facing a righty in Gilbert in this one, batting just 220. I'm going to have to roll with Seattle, even though Ruffalo took them. We got the Rockies against the Giants and the Yankees against the Astros. You know what? I've checked out of my relationship with the Astros. Jay, I know you like the Astros.
Finally, you've checked out.
I'm done. I've checked out.
Welcome to the dark side, my friend. Welcome.
I think at this point, it's kind of like you're waiting for it to happen. I don't know if it's gonna.
I don't think it's gonna either. You know what I mean? Welcome to the dark side. Give me my guy Stroman. Give me the Yanks.
Lopez is a righty. All right, I had it backwards.
They've dominated them here too. So money line, you should be fine -135, but I think you could lay the run line, maybe even like 2.5. Get you some plus money, brother. Stros are ass right now. In this 4-game losing streak that they're in, 3 of the 4 have been on that run line. So you got to be able to attack the plus money spots. And I think the Yanks, who are playing well right now, could possibly get it done. Like, you know what I mean? That Soto home run, turn me up. I knew my guy was going deep. He went deep in the first. You know what? Sign me back up for Soto again today off Blanco. Again, times 2. Not playing with the Astros. That's what I like here. What was the other one?
Rockies-Giants.
Cal Quantrill. Interesting. I'm gonna be there tomorrow, and when they play my Rangers, I can't wait. So I'm kind of saving my pocket.
Are you gonna act like they did something if they beat the Rockies?
No, I'm not. But I want to see them put up 30 runs on somebody.
Gomber's pitching tomorrow, so he might be.
They might put up a 30 spot.
You got John Gray on Saturday. His triumphant return to Colorado.
It might. Hey man, I can't wait, man.
He's been shelled in that stadium a lot.
So it should be a fun series coming up this weekend. I don't love that game. I probably just nothing real for me there. Just the Yankees.
Giants run line for me against the Rockies. The Rockies are terrible, man. They are horrible. Yeah, of course I'm always looking a day ahead, man. I'll tell you, nothing looks more horrible to me than Trevor Rogers against the Phillies. And everyone knows I like the Marlins and hate the Phillies, but I mean that just looks like a bad day at the office. But that's a straight over for me. But I like the Giants in this one over the Rockies. The Rockies just haven't shown me anything. They've shown me nothing. And I put Rockies-Giants twice on here. And same thing, the Astros are just ass, man. It's like I hate taking the Yankees, but I don't even see anywhere else to play this thing. I mean, I gave out the on the drive-through, when you give out picks and stuff, especially when it's a short card at night, it's like you have what you have. But I was even embarrassed I gave out the Yankees on that. I'm gonna go with the Yankees with Stroman. I think it's a good under.
You were embarrassed you didn't.
I'm embarrassed I gave out the Astros.
Oh, okay.
And I like the under in this one as well. So same game parlay. Under. This would be the same game parlay.
Franchise player.
165. Table for one.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Yankees.
That would be the way for Thin Mint. Anything else? Don't skimp on the pate.
I'm gonna take the Yankees here as well. Just full stop. They've just been the better team in this series by a mile. Ronald Blanco's starting to regress a little bit. He's been starting to get hit a little bit harder as the starts have gone on. And the Yankees are one of the best teams in baseball the last couple of weeks, hitting right-handed pitching, and they've been a lot more disciplined. They're taking walks more. They're not just swinging away and hacking at it. And I think the Yankees get it done here. Get it off of get a few runs off of Blanco and run away and hide. I like that Soto home run too. I think you can make a case for any of the big four bats for the Yankees: Judge, Stanton, Soto, Rizzo. So, and I'm going to take the over in that Giants Rockies game. I think Keaton Wynn gets roughed up a little bit by the Rockies here, and I think Cal Quantrill definitely gets hit hard by the Giants. So, give me the over.
Jake,
I went first.
Oh, all right. Next up, White Sox, Guardians, Brewers, Cardinals, and Angels, Royals. I gave out the Guardians in my video, but I'm going to change tune, man. I'm going to go back to my White Sox here with Fede. He's been really strong this season. I think the Guardians, to me, look like the squarest play on the board today. And it's like, I don't have a premium on it. I gave it out in the video. A lot of times it happens. I see it a little different in the morning. And I think this one just looks so square, man. The Guardians, so square. It's like there's nowhere else to go but the White Sox here. I would even consider the reverse run line in the first five. Tobias Myers has been getting lit up. The Cardinals are ass. This is a bad game. I'm going to go with the Brewers at home. It's a lean at best. And then I like the Angels against the Royals. Walker's been getting slaughtered. Detmer's coming off of 2 worst starts of the season. I think he bounces back in this one. I'm going to take the Angels with Reed Detmers. Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Cardinals now. They've switched from Lance Lynn to Sonny Gray. I think it's just a big pitching mismatch. Easy for me to say.
What?
I almost said pitching mismatch.
To be frank with you.
Yes.
Stop calling me Frank.
I just think Sonny Gray, the far better pitcher. Tobias Myers just doesn't look ready at the major league level, and I think the Cardinals back up Sonny Gray as they have all season long. I think Gray gets it done. I'm also going to get they're going to take the White Sox as well. I just don't see Ben Lively as a minus 158 favorite. I know the Cleveland. yeah, I know the Cleveland Guardians have played their best on the road, and they've normally feasted on bad teams for the better part of the season. But Eric Fede, was he former KBO MVP, pitching well? I think the White Sox, this is one of their better shots at a win in the series. So give me the White Sox plus money. I lean towards the Royals. I just Reed Detmers is starting to fall off here, so I'll take the Royals in that one.
I'm gonna agree with my good friend Frank, and I'm gonna take the Angels against the Royals. Um, Michael Walker's ass. You know, when you look at the losses for the Royals this season, you just see Michael Walker's name by all of them. My Rangers absolutely crushed his ass last game. He gave up 7 in the in what 3. He gave up 7 in 3 innings basically, and none of them were home runs. So that's even more concerning. It wasn't like it was a one bomb shot that really did the damage. No, it wasn't that. He just his ass.
Shot they really there we did go. The damage. No, it wasn't that. He just his ass. All right. Well, we're back live again now, so that was weird.
All right, that was weird. I was just saying I'm fading the Cardinals per usual. They're looking for their 5th straight L. It's coming today. Milwaukee's dominated them, won all 3 meetings this season. What suggests it's going to change here? Nothing. Give me Milwaukee.
Chris?
I went first, sir.
That's it.
Oh, all right.
Where I went, sorry, sir.
Wow. Okay, I guess I got a little bit messed up there. Okay. We go on. We've got the 2 basketball games, so Celtics and Cavs. Jay, what do you think?
It's hard for me not to see it the same way I've seen it. You know what I mean? I don't think it's that complicated to break down. The Cavs, since the All-Star break, have been terrible on the road. The Cavs here in the postseason have been terrible on the road. We saw the Magic beat them up 3 times in Orlando. We just saw the Celtics beat them up 120-95. What changed? Nothing, in my opinion. I think on the road, the defensive intensity really causes them some problems, and I thought that's why Orlando played them so tight in that series. And I'm here to tell you that the Boston Celtics are just as good defensively as the Orlando Magic, but while also being 5 times better offensively than the Orlando Magic. I felt like the Celtics had a comfortable, 9 to 12 point lead entire game 1, and then were able to put their foot to the pedal, put the pedal to the metal late quarter. I see the same thing happening here. I don't trust the Cleveland Cavaliers. Donovan Mitchell's going to get his. He's going to ball. We know that. But counting on Garland, can't do that. Counting on Mobley, can't do that. Counting on LeVert, can't do that. Jared Allen, he's banged up. Game time decision. Don't know if he's coming back today. And even if he does, he's not a game changer. We've already heard him say the lights are too bright. The Celtics, we saw them with the hiccup in game 2 last round because of that. And it really wasn't even that big of a hiccup. The Heat just were shooting, ungodly from the 3-point line. I don't really see that being the case here. I called the sweep from the start. It was plus 190. I still think that happens. I think the Celtics dominate here in game 2, sending this thing 2-0 to Cleveland, and they probably do it by like 18 to 20 plus points. And I would say Cleveland team total under. They've been terrible on the road. Like, can't score. I like Roof.
Yeah, that was exactly where I was going to go, was Cleveland's team total under. Let's see, what is it here? 99.5. Yeah, I think you could even push that. See here, I think you can go with like under 96.5 and get plus 130 out of it. I think it's another sluggish performance offensively from the Cavs, and going along with that, I'm going to go with the under 212, even if it's a blowout. Don't see it hitting 212 in this one. So give me the under here, as well as Cleveland's team total under.
Money man Mitch.
I'm going to take the points with the Cavs. I don't love this game. I'm not betting it. Nothing to it, but I don't know, man. I think that they had a really good strategy there in game one. I think the game was not in doubt one way or the other, but the cover was in doubt a good portion of the game. It stayed within 10 for the first three quarters of the game. It was right in that 10, 12, 14. It was all in there the whole time. The Celtics just pulled away at the end, and it was White. And I think you got to go with that same strategy again. If White's going to beat you, then he's going to beat you. But you just take Tatum out of the game, and that's what everybody. Well, it's not that hard, right? So everybody goes with that strategy, and keep Tatum under 20 points, which seems to be very easy these days. And I think the Cavs will do that again. I think if White's going to beat you, then White's going to beat you, man. And I think that's what you say. You say, I'm willing to lose to White, but I'm not willing to lose to sorry-ass Jason Tatum. And, that's what they're going to do. But Tatum, I mean, he is the Houdini of the playoffs, right? I mean, he just does the disappearing act. It's like he is the invisible man. I can't even understand why people put him in the same sentence as some of the other real players out there. I think you look at the way Edwards has played in the playoffs. You look at the way that Tatum is played in the playoffs. And how are these guys even in the same conversation? I mean, Tatum's an embarrassment to the league, to himself and his teammates.
I disagree. I think
I know you do because you buy the hype train. You get your opinion. I mean, you watch tons of hoops, yet you get the bulk of your opinion from ESPN. Like you need them to tell you who's good. You don't, man. It's like because I'll tell you what. I've seen basketball for many, many years. Everyone knows I'm 150 years old. So I've seen basically from James Naismith all the way through, right? And I can tell you, this guy is not even in the top 200 players of all time. Not even in the top 250.
Which is like I got the game you saw from when Naismith cut the hole out of the
peach basket.
I got it autographed.
Pretty much, man. This guy's not even in the top 250 player of all time.
He's the best player on the best team in the league, man. And the team is so good that he doesn't need to be Superman. Like, and I'm not gonna
and they should thank their lucky stars he doesn't have to be, because when he does have to be, he isn't. Who would you rather have in these playoffs? Brunson or him? Who would you rather have? Edwards or him? Who would you rather have? A roll of toilet paper or him? Who would you rather have? Ruffalo's bag of cheese or him? I would take Jaylen Brown over him, man. This guy is what you call a not ready for prime time player. He is the lights are too bright. He is all of those things that you put down about other teams. It is this guy who cannot take over a game because he does not have the athletic ability, he does not have the basketball sense and know-how, nor the skill level to take over a big game. He cannot do it. We've seen Kyrie do it throughout his career. We've seen, Luka do it throughout his career. We've seen Edwards do it this year. We've seen Brunson do it yesterday. We've seen guys do it time and time again. This guy, in the biggest moments and the brightest lights, when they need him the most, is when he comes up flattest, time after time after time after time. He is a never rise to the occasion bum. Aside from that, probably a pretty good guy.
I think it'll be just fine. Now, quick little stat that just popped up on my phone. I think this is mind-boggling. Let me just ask you the question first. Is Jalen Brunson a better all-time Knick than Carmelo Anthony?
In 2 seasons?
Yeah.
No. Oh, then Carmelo probably. I mean, Carmelo is not really like a Knick.
Here's a stat, man. Playoff points as a New York Knick. Carmelo Anthony, 589. Jalen Brunson, 591.
How many years did Carmelo play? He wasn't primarily a Knick.
I mean, when you think
I don't consider Carmelo a Knick.
I don't consider him a Nugget. When I think of Carmelo, I think of
the Knicks. He is a Nugget. But that's what he is. He's a Nugget. You know?
I just think that's crazy.
I mean, he really did not play that much.
How many
years did he play with the Knicks?
Yeah, let's see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years with the Knicks. 6.5.
Yeah. That's a long time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with the Nuggets.
A half and a half.
OKC, Houston, Portland, Lakers.
It's an interesting question.
I don't know. I think Carmelo is a better college player than he was in the NBA. When you look at it, the best he ever did in the NBA, 13th for the MVP, 6th for the MVP. 3rd for MVP. That was with the Knicks. 2nd team All NBA. MVP 15th and an All-Star. The last time he was even in the MVP running was 7 or 8 years before he hung it up. I don't know. I think Carmelo was great at Syracuse. He should have stayed another year. Had it been today's, college, he probably would have stayed.
David, I would take Tatum out of those three. Out of Tatum, Brunson, and Edwards, it's Tatum.
What are the choices?
Tatum, Brunson, Edwards.
Edwards, Brunson, Tatum.
Tatum,
it's not even close.
Tatum, Edwards, Brunson will be out.
And that's why you're going to watch the Rockies game against the Rangers instead of watching the NBA like the rest of us. And I think that's part of the problem here.
I just don't want to know what NBA you've been watching. Like you've sat here and hated.
All right. Well, let's look at Jason Tatum's. Let's look at Jason Tatum's playoff numbers, man. Let's just do it. Let's just call. Yes. Let's look at his playoff numbers. We will call this section. We'll call this segment. I'll put it in the bookmarks. Body of work.
I'm finna get up and leave. We don't have to do that because that is not relevant to this season. The Cavs do not offer the same struggles that
Tatum actually averages 23.6 points per game in the playoffs. He shoots 44% from the floor, which is pathetic. 35% from beyond the arc.
I just don't see why you hate that man so much.
I don't hate him. I want him to put up. If you want to talk the talk, you gotta walk the walk, man. And he has not done that.
They're 5-1 this postseason.
Well, why? So they're 5-1 this postseason. They had the best record in the NBA. Does that mean they automatically get the trophy? No. You have to earn it, man. You have to earn it.
Treat them like they're balling like they are. Is all I'm saying.
All I'm saying is everything's meaningless.
Anthony Edwards like he's
without the chip, it's all meaningless. It all doesn't matter.
That same way. We're on the same page.
Any player in the NBA, any player in the NFL, they asked. So the other night, I'm watching Watch What Happens live on Bravo, and the bartender on the show is Adam Wainwright, right? On the show, it's Adam Wainwright. It's Waino, because Andy Cohen's like a big Cardinals fan. He's got Waino on. I guess Wainwright's doing country music these days. They asked Wainwright, what was the biggest thing in your career? Right? He's won the Cy Young Award, way more stuff than Tatum's ever won, right? I mean, one of the winningest pitchers of the last 3 decades. And you know what he said? You know what he said was the best thing of his entire career? Winning the World Series. He said that was the whole thing. He said my whole career was winning the World Series. He goes, he followed up and he said, I would trade it all just for that.
All I'm saying is, your past criticism of the man is fair. but he's doing exactly what he's supposed to do in this current
I think
run.
we talk again in June about what he's done, and then we can have this discussion. But until then, he's just some average rung-of-the-mill player, man, in the NBA with no rings. He's got less rings than you.
I think till then, he's the best player
in fact,
the NBA.
We'll call him no rings Tatum.
He's the best player on his team. That's the best team in the NBA. Like, you're talking to the same guy who was sitting here yelling to the world in the mountaintops last year that Jokic is the best player in the NBA. And I think the Nuggets are going to go on a run. Like, you know what I mean? You just got to know what you're looking at. And I think I'm looking at a Celtics team that's just head and shoulders better than everybody they play. And they don't need Tatum to go for 40 like Brunson does because they have Brown there instead of Josh Hart. Like, that's the difference. That's the difference. If he wanted to go out there and shoot every shot and average 40, he probably could. And I'm not mad at him for losing to the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Finals. I'm not. Same reason why I'm not mad at my Mavs for losing that Western Conference Finals to those same Golden State Warriors.
Who has the most wins of any professional in any professional sports?
Who has the most?
No, who has the most?
The most wins?
No, the most rings of any guy that's played professional sports.
Is it
Bill Russell?
Nope.
Yeah.
Frankie Crosetti, 17 rings. Now, we don't even know who Crosetti is, right? I'd rather have Crosetti than Tatum. And the thing is, I'd rather have the 17 rings, man. He was a role player with the Yankees, man. So he won 17 World Series titles, 8 as a player and 9 as a coach. Man, he's got 17 rings. That's crazy, man.
One ring brings 17 rings, Krasinski.
Crosetti.
Or Crosetti. Why is it Krasinski? I'm thinking of John Krasinski.
Tatum would be fine, man. The Celtics would be fine.
But the greatest, the guy who's never considered the greatest in his sport, who's as a player has the most rings, is Yogi Berra. 10 rings as a player. And he's not even considered the best at his position. I mean, he was MVP multiple times. You know, I mean, he's like 80 Tatums. That's really what he is. He caught Don Larson's perfect game. Robert Ory's got 6 rings. Tatum has 0.
I'm just saying, like, some of y'all in the comments sound like you've never played a team sport, bro. It's obvious. If you go to the rec right now and you pick up the 4 sorriest dudes in the rec, bro, and you drop 30.
I'd be one of them.
And you drop 30. That doesn't mean that you're better than if you go pick up the 4 best dudes in the gym and you drop 5. That, you know what I mean? And y'all win every game. There's a difference, bro. You know what I mean? Who you play with matters. So just because Brunson's dropping 40 and Tatum dropping 24, I could give 2 shits.
He's not dropping 24. He's dropping like 14. And that's the difference.
I'm just saying, man. Y'all tripping.
How many points did Tatum have last game, Chris? Game 1 versus the Cavaliers. Less than 20.
Mind you, they won by 30.
Yeah, because White. Same thing they did against the Heat. It was White that got all the
That's what I'm saying. So what do you want him to do? White, you're balling. No, fuck you, White. Give me the ball. I'm for the ball. No.
That's what Michael does. That's what Michael does.
That sounds dumb. And that's why Michael is, looked at in the way he looked. But that's why I don't look at Michael in that light. I think Scottie was the second best player in the NBA during the Michael Jordan era. But you listen to Michael Jordan.
From the womb?
From the womb? Scottie was like.
From the womb.
Was like the 100th best player in the NBA.
So from the womb, you think Scottie was the second best player at the time. Before you were born. From the twinkle in your parents' eye.
You go back and watch, bro. You go back and watch, man. Scottie.
I watched it, man. I lived it.
I lived it, man. You got baited by the media. Just like
I got baited by the media?
You got baited by the
If there's anyone that never has been baited by the media, it's Frank over here.
So game one, Tatum had 18, 11, and 5. Jaylen Brown had 32 and 6. And Derek White had 25 and 5 assists.
Yeah, but how many threes did he have?
7.
Yeah.
Brown shot 12 of 18, 4 of 6 from 3.
What did he shoot from the line?
4 of 4.
Oh, wow. See, in meaningless free throws, Brown is probably the king of those.
Man, y'all don't want to hear my Michael Jordan argument. Y'all don't want to hear it, bro. Y'all don't want to hear it. I think the proof is in the pudding, bro. I will pop a bubble. I'll pop that Michael Jordan bubble so fast, bro. We done with the 90s. We done. Look, what happened the year Jordan went to baseball? I think that's all you need to look at. What happened? What happened? What was the Bulls' record that year? What was their record? Did they fall off? No.
Yes.
No. Did they win the chip? No. If Jordan had played, would they have won that chip?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
They would not have won that chip had he played anyway.
Yes, they did.
They were still just as good. Scotty had him on his back, looked just like, you know what I mean, bro? Stop it, bro. Scotty was him. And I hate that they be trying to portray that narrative. That's why Scotty don't like Michael Jordan now. Because Scotty was him. And people try to act like Scotty wasn't even a top 10 player. When in my opinion, he was the second best player in the league. They boosted Michael Jordan to be better than he was. Granted, he was really effing good. I'm not trying to say he wasn't what he is.
Thanks, Jay. That's pretty good of you to do that.
And his mythos was bigger than it was. It was before the internet. So, right now you see everything that happens. As soon as it happens, it's right here on your phone. You're like, oh my God. For Michael Jordan, look, they said Michael Jordan dunked from the free throw line. You tell him, next thing you know, somebody telling you Michael Jordan dunked from the 3-point line. That's kind of how it used to go back then. It was just word of mouth. The mythos of Michael Jordan.
Here's your word of mouth.
Will never be what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, here's your word of mouth right there. There's your word of mouth.
I'm just saying, man.
I don't think you quite understand. If you never saw it, I don't think you quite understand just how competitive this guy was.
I can definitely have an opinion. You know how I can have an opinion? Because all those games are on YouTube, and I've gone back and watched every single one of them, bro. How you can't test my basketball theory. You know what I mean?
It's not the same. Rewatching a game is never the same as watching the game live. You never really get.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because you know why? You're telling me it's not because you were living in the moment. You were falling for the mythos and all of that shit. In hindsight now, bro, you can go back and watch it and tell and be like, damn, this is not nearly as good a basketball now as it is then. I mean, the basketball now is light years ahead of what it is then. It's available for you to go watch. It's out there. You can go watch it. Matter of fact, we can go, you know what? We're going to do a playback when the NBA season is over, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to be on playback, and we're going to go back and watch some of these games. And I'm going to
watch that Bulls Utah Jazz stuff. Oh, I'll watch it with you any day of the week, man.
I will take the time
any day of the week because
some of you.
Because they played against that Jazz team with the mailman, and they had a good team, man.
Man, who did he hit with that little crossover right there, man? They would have tried Kyrie Irving for witchcraft back then. Like, come on, bro. People be trying to talk about that Michael Jordan crossover for the win. Nice crossover. I'm not denying that. Man, Kyrie do that every time down the floor. Like, what are we talking about? Like, did y'all not see that?
Michael Jordan, with the game on the line, in the biggest moments, it was his team. He held everybody on that team accountable, man. It was the Jordan rules, man. And it's like, he held everybody accountable. There was no, like, prima donnas, whatever. It was Michael, and he had the rules, man. He was the first one on the bus. He's the first one off the bus. He's he has all of those things, man. It's like, it's a different world. He's leader often on the court. Something that Jason Tatum couldn't carry his jockstrap, man.
Hey, man, I'm just saying. I think Michael Jordan is one of the greatest players to ever touch a basketball.
He is the greatest player to ever play the game.
Number 2.
Oh my God!
You know what I mean? But
not even. It's not even a discussion.
It's not. It's not even a discussion.
Because Michael Jordan not only is the greatest basketball player of all time, he might be the greatest professional athlete of all time.
Wrong. I disagree.
Well, you can disagree all you like.
Wholeheartedly.
All right. Well,
if Michael Jordan had access to the technology, the nutrition, and the evolution of the game that was available now, would he possibly?
He did evolve the game. He was the evolution of the game.
Yes. Then he would probably be the best player. Like, if Michael Jordan played now, would he probably be the best player?
Far and away would be the best player. It would be the same exact thing. It'd be the same exact thing just now.
If you want to know what I'm talking about with the evolution of a basketball game, I challenge you to go to, like, your local middle school basketball game. And I promise you'll be astonished how far and ahead these little kids are. Like, how far the game of basketball has come. There's some 9-year-old kids right now that I promise you, I could take you to the court right now and they will cook you. I swear to God, bro. The game of
They can't
basketball.
cook me or in Ruth. I think
Man,
they
I'm talking
got
about
some
some
serious
I'm
soul
talking about some
searching to
adults
do.
right here that are in good shape. I know a 9-year-old that will cook you right now. Like, the game of basketball has evolved that far. And I don't think a lot of you really put the time, effort, and energy to look at it in that light.
Here it is. 95 playoffs. Jordan averaged 45 points per game in the finals. Scotty got benched in the series. Jay, you're way off, man, on this one. You're way off.
No, Scotty got benched because Kukoc was a fucking bucket. You know what I mean? People forget Tony Big Shot Kukoc, bro. Come on, bro. You can't test my basketball knowledge. And Kukoc was also a bucket. That whole 99, that whole Jordan team, bro, they try to act like they didn't have nothing. Like Michael Jordan was just the end-all, be-all. No, he was the ball hog. He was Mr. I'm finna take every shot.
He made everybody better. He made everybody better. How was Kukoc without Jordan? How was these guys once Michael was gone? How were they without him? Scotty bounced around the league after that, man.
Him catching the ball on the wing. 90% of Michael Jordan highlights are him catching the ball on the wing. Everybody clear out because there was no help defense back then in the 80s and 90s. Everybody want to talk about this hand check and you'll get clobbered at. No, bro. There was no real help defense. You couldn't shade over and help the guy. That's why a lot of the highlights you see back then is strictly one-on-one basketball. I swear to God, if you put any player currently in the NBA right now on that same island, there's unguardable, bro. They're unguardable, fam. This is real basketball talk, and a lot of you may not know that. This is not a basketball show. This is an all-sports show. So I get that many of you may not understand what I'm talking about, fam, but this is real next-level basketball talk. And if you want to have that real next-level basketball talk, we can have it. But I have to have it.
Then Kobe.
No.
1, 2.
Wrong. Now, the Kobe argument is a little different because Kobe kind of was starting to play in the real era of when, the league was starting to transition into kind of what it is.
The Euro step generation? I mean, this is the bullshit of bullshit. You could basically take 9 steps, call it a Euro step. Right. I call it traveling. Traveling. The Euro step is what they call it now.
I'll digress, man.
I call it tackle football, man.
Y'all not hearing me.
Well, all right. At least we all agree. Jordan 1, Kobe 2. All right.
And hey, 9-year-old that can flatten me. Okay, I'm like Escalade out there. All right, let's roll a little bit.
All right.
Give me a 7-foot rim. We're gonna have some problems.
All right.
I'm saying the 90s basketball compared to now is uncomparable. Now, when you look at the 90s basketball, I think Scottie Pippen was easily, I'm probably pushing it saying number 2, but I think he was a top 5 player in the league back then. You cannot tell me 4 other players that were better than Scottie back then. And I think a lot of people discredit how good Scottie was because they want to boost Michael Jordan's ego, is all I'm saying. And if
no one's putting him down, but there was Hakeem Olajuwon, Karl Malone, you had the Admiral,
you can't just
Clyde,
that.
You had Charles Barkley. There was a lot of good players of the 90s, not just Scottie Pippen. I would say Olajuwon was the second best player of the 90s, and I don't even think you got any kind of argument there. He went to the finals.
Okay, and like I said, so you don't think the Bulls would have lost to that Olajuwon team for that championship that Olajuwon won? Because that's when he won. I know my hoops, bro. So you don't think Michael Jordan would have lost that championship? Hell yeah, they would have lost that championship. Argue with me. That's what I'm saying, bro. I know hoops.
I don't think so.
I know hoops. I don't think so. All day long.
Michael Jordan made it to the finals. He won, man. He won.
I go all day long.
You let him in the door, he wins.
Only played 6 seasons in the NBA. I forgot he only played 6 years. That's my argument. They always want to say Michael Jordan never lost.
He was drafted by the worst team in the league, and
LeBron
made them better.
But LeBron gets hated because he dragged that terrible team to the finals. Yet Michael Jordan just so happened to lose in the first round, the second round. Still an L in my opinion. If you don't win that season, it's an L. No matter if you get to the finals or you lose in the first round, it's an L. So Michael Jordan, that 6 for 6 talk is not valid. How many years did he play? 15? So he's 6 for 15. So, you know what I mean? That's my argument when it comes with LeBron, bro. That's
but the numbers are the numbers, man.
That's my argument.
Put up the numbers. In those years, 61, I mean, he had the monster games in the big moments with nobody. He did like what Brunson did times a half, a whole nother 1.5, Like what you saw Brunson do last night, Jordan did that, and he still didn't have enough on his team. I mean, everybody's guarding him. When you're one guy, everybody's on you.
That take is ridiculous. All right, we can move on.
At least we can agree on one thing, and that's Jordan's the greatest of all time. Now, next, we go on to the Thunder versus Mavericks game. Chris, what do you think?
Go, James. Every day of the week.
I love the over here. I think we're going to get a better offensive performance from Dallas in Game 2. I also think we're going to get another strong offensive showing from this deep Thunder lineup in Game 2 as well. One of the higher totals that you'll see that I've seen so far in playoff basketball. I think it's still hanging around the 220s, if I'm not mistaken. Or 218. So yeah, give me the over here. I think we get well into the 220s here.
There it is, Jay. LeBron's competition was Jeff Teague, DeMar DeRozan, and Lance Stevenson.
That's the most casual take I've ever heard in my entire life, but it's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
See, if it was like a Cowboys argument, the old Cowboys versus somebody now, you can flip it around. So how about Dirk? Dirk wasn't as good, as like the guys now.
I think Dirk was really good, but you know what I mean? Dirk in today's
game.
Would he be as good in today's time as he was in his own time? No.
Yes.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yes.
I don't think so.
Yes.
I don't.
Yes.
I don't.
Yes.
Wrong. We can agree to disagree.
We will agree that Jordan's the best. We go to Chris. What'd you say about this one? Thunder and Mavericks.
I want to see Jordan try to chase Curry around them screens all day. You know
Jordan
what I mean?
was like the best defensive player in the league.
No, he was not.
Yes, he was.
Not.
Yes, he was. Yes,
there was nobody who really could guard it like that, bro. It wasn't. That's why AI. That's why when South Sea AI came in, he hit him with that mean ass mink, and Jordan. Like that's on the island you're on every day of the week now in the NBA. Like, do y'all watch games? Or
Michael Jordan was on the all-defensive team 9 times. He still couldn't play defense.
Bro, that's the thing. They were just on his jockstrap, bro. They just were loving him. They just gave him every accolade. Like that, they could have put LeBron on those same lists. Like they're on Rudy Gobert's right now. There's no way in hell Rudy Gobert won defensive awards. Like, you know what I mean? How the hell did Rudy Gobert win Defensive Player of the Year over Wemby? How? Make it make sense. How did he even win it over Anthony Davis? You know what I mean? The defensive numbers never make sense to me. They never have.
Defensive Player of the Year in 1988.
I could give 2 shits about that. I really could. Boy, Jordan around them screens would have been gassed. I don't think y'all be watching.
Chris, what do you think of this game?
I went with the over here.
That was ballsy.
The Michael Jordan East was weak too. Other than the Pistons, other than them, it was weak. It was weak. What are we talking about? Y'all not gonna tell me about my Dirk days. I know about the Dirk days, man. But I'm a realist, fam. I'm a realist. Mark Cuban even said the same thing, bro. Like he said it too. Like, you know what I mean? Luka is probably the greatest Mav in Mavs history already because of that was from the owner. Like it's just different times, fam. It's hard to compare them. It's hard to. It's different strokes for different folks. The game now is just so far evolved. I don't think y'all understand how good these players are. I really don't. I really, really don't. I feel like some of these college guys would have been NBA stars, like right now, back then. Like, the game has come so far. Mavs Thunder. I'm on the Mavs money line. Short, sweet, simple. Remember, y'all are going to call this emotional. Y'all are going to call it fandom anyway, so who cares? I did take the Thunder game 1, so you could take that for what you want. But when I looked at it, man, I thought that, I think this game comes down to one thing and one thing only. How are the refs going to officiate the game? I'm just going to call it a spade here. I think that's ultimately what it comes down to. If they're going to continue to give the Thunder the greatest whistle in playoff history, then of course the Mavs have no chance. If you're going to shoot 24 free throws in the first half, the other team has no chance. If you're not going to allow one of the best defensive teams in the NBA to be physical and play defense, then they have no chance. But the reason why I think the Mavs win is because we know how the playoffs usually go. They usually swallow the whistle. That's what they usually do. The competitive nature of the Clippers series versus that first game of the Thunder series was night and day. You know what I mean? Night and day. We saw Russell Westbrook and them basically out there tackling each other every play in the Clippers series. And then if you breathed on shot last series, then he was at the free throw line. We'll see if the refs swallow the whistle. I think with the Pacers crying, the Mavs crying, everybody kind of crying about officiating, we'll start to see the whistle be swallowed a bit more here coming down the stretch. I think these two teams match up very well. They're very evenly matched teams. The Thunder are a really good home team. They were good at home all season long. They were the third best home ATS team in basketball. The Dallas Mavericks were the best road ATS team in basketball. I trust the Mavs on the road. I know Luka's a little banged up, but I think they'll be just fine here in this game. I really, really do. So that's how I see it. I think the Mavs win the series in 6. I think the Mavs are the better team. I think the Mavs have the better player. I think the Mavs have the better second option. And ultimately, the only thing that I see that gets the Thunder the win here in this basketball game is if they get that all-star whistle that they got in game 1. I think that's literally the difference here in this game. You heard Kyrie Irving say it after the post-game interview. The playoffs is a game of rhythm and flows. You know what I mean? So we'll see if they let the players catch that rhythm and flow, or if we're going to be sitting there in one of the most boring games in NBA history again in the playoffs because a lot of free throws are being shot. So that's how I see it. Personally, I'm on the Mavs tonight. I think they send this thing 1-1 coming back home. I'm not just a Jordan hater. I think Jordan is the second greatest player of all time. My name is Jay Briggs. To y'all, my real name is Jordan Briggs. I was born in 1999, so you already know I'm born after Michael Jordan. My dad is one of the biggest Michael Jordan fans there are. I'm not a Jordan hater. I'm just a LeBron lover. And you got to call a spade a spade. You know what I mean? You got to call a spade a spade. Was Jordan cold? Yes. Do I think his mythos was a little bigger than it should be? Yes. Do I understand it? Most definitely. When you're arguing two guys against each other, you have to tear the other one down. That's how an argument works. In the grand scheme of things, Jordan is a GOAT, bro. Like, chill.
I'm taking the Thunder. I'm taking the Thunder and laying the points. I just didn't see anything in the first game that leads me to believe that the Mavs are going to be able to do anything here. I think Luka plays a lot better. I think he always responds, to the criticism and that he's done and he's tired and all, injured, all these things. He always responds. He always comes up big. I just don't think he's enough. I just think this Thunder team's these guys are focused. I'm just going to take them here. I think the Mavs, certainly have a chance to win both their home games and make it a series. I don't think it's as one-sided as some of the other series, but I think that tonight, until I see something from the Mavs in this series that tells me otherwise, I got to go with the Thunder. Chris, is there hockey today?
Yeah, there is. There's 2.
Let's pretend there isn't.
Okay.
Who do you like?
I'm taking the Rangers and the plus money against the Hurricanes. I know it's crazy to think the Hurricanes could go down 0-3 in a series, but the Rangers just had an answer for them in every turn. We're getting plus 150 or close to plus 150 when they haven't lost in the playoffs. They're one of the better road teams in the NHL this season. Going down 0-3 in a series is not all that unthinkable. So I'm going to take the Rangers and the plus money, and I'm going to take the Avs too. I just think there's something about momentum, and it wouldn't surprise me if the Stars, found a way and rallied back. Came back from that a 4-3 loss, but didn't like what I saw from him in collapse in game one. And the Avs are not a team you want to give momentum to, especially now that they've stolen home ice. So give me the Avs and the plus money.
Jay, any hockey?
Fading Ruffalo per usual. I'm taking the Stars. We're the better team in the series.
Okay, I wouldn't go that far.
Team in the series. We're the number one seed for a reason. You know, we're at home early in the series for a reason. We jumped out to a 3-0 lead for a reason. I just think we kind of fell apart there in the end. We'll be fine. We'll bounce back. I think we're still favored at home for good reason. This is going to be a tight, competitive series. We knew that coming in. It wasn't just going to be an easy layup. The Stars falling down 0-2 though at home, back-to-back series ain't happening. Still think the Stars win this series in like 6. So I got them winning tonight, going on the road where they've been playing really good hockey and looking good there. So no reason to doubt them. Again, taking the better team at home. Hearing this, we just knocked off the champs. We're gonna knock off the Avs in the series too.
I went against Jay in the hoop, so I'll have to take his Rangers here. I'll go with the Rangers against Carolina. Money line.
I'm taking Carolina in that one. Carolina at home.
I thought you were a Rangers fan. I thought they won the World Series. You were all excited. You got your ring.
This is hockey, though, and I'm taking the Hurricanes.
Same thing. Rangers.
The Hurricanes go stupid, dummy, crazy at home at the crib.
Rangers,
do or die game. Do or die game.
Belt to ass in that.
I mean, not really. They won in double overtime.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
exactly.
Nah. Hurricanes go stupid, dummy, crazy at home. I always love playing teams that are down 0-2 coming back home because it's essentially a must-win game. You fall down 3-0 most of the time, the number suggests it's over. So that makes the home game, game 3, a must-win. That's why they're minus 170. Put it in your parlay. You'll be just fine today. Give me the Hurricanes.
Oh, man. Hello, my name is Mrs. Renee Bergeron, employee of Wing Hang Bank here in China, Hong Kong. Can I trust you for a fund transfer of 10,500,000 euros? If yes, contact me via email. Best regards, Renee Bergeron. Yeah. We did it, Chris. We made it. Parlay time.
Oh, so
10,500,000, baby. Euros. The good stuff.
Parlay.
All right, give me the White Sox, Cardinals, and Cavs team total under. That's my parlay.
For the city, man. Mavs money line, Stars money line, 2-teamer. Let's get it done for the city.
New York Rangers money line. God, I really hate it. Chicago White Sox money line, and I don't know. Angels money line. I just really hate today's card. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. I apologize for the card, even though it's not my fault. You guys can blame me for everything else. You know, yesterday when we made the joke about Romanelli and the 10-5, someone said, "Oh man, you brought up the comment busting on Ron, man. He's the best capper there." Whatever. It's called a joke, right? It's like I went back Romanelli's the one that sent it to me. You know, it was easy, man. As they say in Stripes. Lighten up, Francis. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you. And I'm going to try and act more professional tomorrow. Costi will be back. So, yeah, who the hell knows what's going to happen. Jay's showing us a box. Got any milk duds in there? Thank you. Make it a winning day.